This may be a question that most people don't wonder about, but I do. South side, north side, positive, negative, as far as magnets go. What does south and north
Okay,
mean?
the north side is considered negative, okay, and the south side is positive. And I cannot say enough that it's, I mean, if you get yourself a magnet, put some fingernail polish on the north side so that you'll know that that's the side that goes next to you. And if you don't have anybody to test you, you can go to a compass. But I have a story that happened to me many years ago that was amazing, and it made me aware, and I really did some studying on it. Many magnet companies are, they aren't, those magnet pads, for instance, are sometimes not made by brilliant magnet people or brilliant energy medicine people, and they have the magnets in wrong. And so it's really, really important to know that the magnet pad you buy, or some people use a knee pad that has magnets in it, or an elbow pad with magnets. Make sure that it's set in there that the north side is against your skin. I went to England a few years ago, and my girlfriend picked me up at the airport, and I was supposed to go right to where I was going to teach. And oh gosh, I couldn't believe it. I was sitting in her car, and I was going into such a stomach ache, and my back hurt. And I said, Maddie, stop the car. I think I'm going to be sick. She stopped the car, and I started to feel better right away.
You got out of the car.
I got out of the car, and I said, Maddie, what was I sitting on something? And she said, I'm so excited. I bought this really expensive seat for my car for people to sit in. And I went back in, and the whole thing was south side out, which was, I mean, it was just, it cost her about 500 pounds for that thing. And so, yeah, you want to be really careful. You can energy test it.
I have a question regarding the sedating points. The chart that you gave us is labeled as sedating and strengthening points, and we
Yes.
use the sedating points for pain. Can you explain the difference between the two?
Yes, sedating points are for pain. They are for pain. And the strengthening points, there's a myriad of reasons you might use strengthening. I do not use them as much as I would use sedating, because usually our bodies hold on to too much energy. People come to me when I had my practice, and they'd say, I have no energy. I want to tell you how much energy they had. They had so much energy, but it was all stuffed into their bodies, and their energies didn't flow in their bodies. So, most of the time I found that sedating was precisely what I needed to do. But every now and then, okay, say I've been sedating, but their body has gotten used to being very, very slow, and they couldn't get their energy up, then I might strengthen afterwards. Okay?
And my other question is regarding pain chasing. When you're not familiar with meridians and you're not really familiar with the pathway, is it really important to be right on the points when you're chasing the pain?
Good question. Is it really, really important to be right on the points when you're chasing the pain? First of all, I tell people it's going to be one finger that's going to hit one of the points. But as you travel down, you do want to get yourself a good meridian chart because you want to get familiar. I want everybody to know how to trace their own meridians, because you get those meridians begin to wake up for you, and you know where that meridian is. There's no mistaking. You get it if you start tracing them more and more. And then you can just feel it. You can feel it along the meridian. So it is more. The thing is, say you're doing pain chasing, and it doesn't work. You can know you probably weren't on the meridian. Okay. But if you get it, just look at a chart and see. Meridians are real easy to get charts. Yes.
Donna, when you're putting a magnet on the body, taping it for pain, can we put it on an organ, on the spine? Is there any area we should not tape the magnet?
Yes, anywhere near your heart. Do not put the magnet anywhere near your heart. don't put a magnet, or if somebody has a pacemaker, don't use the magnet on them, okay? Did I get the whole question? What was it? I got it, okay, yes, but you can put it anywhere, and I'll tell you something that a lot of people have told me, that you can go online probably and get these little magnets that are on tapes, on tape, that acupuncturists use sometimes when they want to send somebody home with that point. And you can put those strips alongside, not on the spine, but right next to the spine where your neurolymphatic reflexes are. I can't tell you how many people have told me that they don't go to chiropractors anymore, that they just leave it on for a while and get themselves taped up.
I have a question about pain chasing. When you say about points on the meridian, when you say about points on the meridians, are they the acupressure points or any point on the meridian? When you test?
They are acupressure points. But I will say that's actually a really interesting question. You usually find that you've gone to an acupuncture point where the energy is congesting. But I have had it where nothing is there. It's not a real point, and yet it's congested in a little vortex of energy where your body has learned the habit of holding pain there. Okay?
You were going to share with us the protocol for your mother's broken arm with the magnets.
Okay.
You just said there.
Yes, and okay, I will. And I will say that my mother also had osteoporosis, so they told her, she was 78, and they told her that she would probably never be able to use that arm again. But I told her to go to Radio Shack and get these 3 little magnets, and told her how to find out the north and south. I think she just used a compass because nobody was around. And she put, you put the north above the pain, above the break, north on the break, and south below the break. And that knitted it all together. And she never, it fixed so fast, she never had any more pain, and she never, her arm healed just as good as it could possibly heal.
Hi, I have 2 questions.
Okay.
One was when you were doing the spindle selling and you were going a little bit below the elbow. How far down would you do it? She had the carpal tunnel, and you went up to the elbow. Would you go further up to the shoulder?
Okay, that is individual. Usually, you only have to do the inside, the yin parts, which is the inside of your arm, to the inside of your elbow. That's usually. But every now and then, if somebody's had it for a long time, you've got to go all the way up to their shoulder.
Tapping. How much pressure are you putting on?
You mean when I test it?
No, when we're holding the points.
Oh, the holding the points.
How much pressure?
It's like a firm lightness. It's not deep pressure, but it is some pressing. It's pressing, but it's not so that it would hurt you or anything. It's like it's light. It's a light pressure. It's a real tap. You're going to bounce off that body.
Donna, we're talking about flushing out the toxins. How important is it, since we contain so much water, if we are dehydrated?
That's very important. You know, we get dehydrated. We get, what is the word? Dehydrated? Mm-hmm. Too quickly. Very, very fast. And I've had that experience when somebody wasn't getting strong and I knew they should, and I went, whoa, let me give you a glass of water. And suddenly everything works, because you really, really want water inside of you everywhere. Thank you.
Can you describe the pressure that you use when you're chasing the pain?
Oh, I should let you give the answer, so let her have the mic.
The pressure depended on if the point was sensitive or not, obviously, but it was pretty firm pressure.
Yeah,
it was not a dainty hold.
I wasn't dainty.
No, there was nothing dainty about it. It was good, firm pressure.
I will say one thing. If you're working with somebody and it's too painful, they can't take that pain. Once you find the pain, you can back off and not go so deep, and because the energy will still work, but you just, and then after a while you're going to go in and just push it again and see, does it hurt? I just didn't let up on her, but you're nicer. You're a nicer person if you just back off.
For those of us who may have had some kitchen accidents, like a second-degree burn that blisters, what pain technique would you think would be most appropriate?
Well, about 3 years ago, that's what happened to me. And we were in Scotland, I think, was that where we were? Scotland, and the same thing happened to me. I was moving a candle, and all the melted candle wax went on me. And I mean, I just was burned so badly, and I had to go teach. I had about 5 minutes to get to my class, and so I really wanted to do something fast. So I did a couple of things. One is I did put it under cold water, whether that's right or wrong, I'm not even sure, but I put it under cold water and let it keep going with cold water, and I figure eighted it. I figure eighted it so much. I mean, you could see down to a bone in one place. And I just kept knitting it, remembering that figure eight, when you make figure eights in an area, you're knitting the energy together, and it begins to knit, and you begin to heal.
Don, a couple of questions. One, when we were working, a couple of questions, Donna. One, we were working with the muscle meridian chart, and we went and sedated the kidney meridian. And I definitely had the soreness there go away. But I noticed it could have also been perhaps liver or central meridian or even spleen meridian. Do you notice that it's typically kidney meridian more often, or
You mean
any
if
of
it's
these
the
other?
shoulder?
Based on what the chart shows on the back.
Okay, well, it's usually kidney. If it's in this soft spot right here, just right there, it's usually kidney. If you reach over, go down further, you'll hit some spleen muscles. But if it's right there, it's kidney.
Okay, great, thank you. And one other question. I also had a small intestine line pain, and as you were working on that, I also followed down the same pathway, but I was doing it on myself. I'm kind of curious because it did release almost all the pain, and it's been reasonably chronic since I was moving some furniture about 2.5 months ago. So do you have any comments on working with with pain chasing when you're working only on yourself and you have no one else to help you?
Okay, now, did you say that it did take much of the pain away?
It did.
It did. Yeah, I've done that. If you can reach it, you can do yourself. If you can reach it. Like some places it's too hard, you can't reach on bladder back here. But if you can reach it, you can do it. I have had people tell me that that they have done pain chasing on themselves, and the area that they couldn't reach, they would literally imagine themselves doing it from that place to that place, and it still chased it, because your mind gets involved, and that'll work too. Thank you.